Hello, and welcome to Papa Anthony's Used Game Emporium. I'm Anthony, and in this episode by Vala Gaming, we are doing a review of the game Dead Man's Draw by Mayday Games. I do want to disclose that Mayday Games was kind enough to provide us with this game, but that will have no effect whatsoever on this review. I'm going to give you my opinion on this game. I'm also going to go over two major points: the price as well as the value that's found for that price. And without further ado, let's jump into the game. Okay, so let's open up this game. Let's see what we got. We got a telescoping box, rule book with 14 pages, bunch of cards, a little bit of an insert, just nothing fancy, just to keep the cards in place. Game says it's 2 to 4 players, 15 minutes, ages 13 plus. It was published in 2015. And so this game's been around for a while. Let's see if it's worth its salt. So, a bunch of cards here, and I've already gone through and sorted them a little bit for setup. We're not going to be using traits or variants, but what you can see here is there are a lot of different ways or additional ways you can play this game and make it and modify it for gameplay. One of the things we are going to do first is we are going to pass out a suitability card to each player, as well as a gameplay card. The gameplay card goes through what you do on your turn. Pretty simple. But it also has a unique feature. And I like this because I like double use for different components. One of the 4 cards has the starting player engraved onto it. So what you can do here is, depending on the number of players, we're playing with 2, you can shuffle them and then deal 1 to each player, and you know who the starting player is, just from giving them the cards. So each player gets a gameplay card as well as the suit card, which the suit card's really important. We'll get into that in a minute. I'm going to take the rules here and turn it to the setup page just so I have this in front of me. But otherwise, what we do is during setup, you will sort through the deck, take out all of the 2s from the different suits. And there are 9 different suits, 10 including the mermaid. So you take the number 2 out for each suit, as well as the mermaid, which the lowest card in the mermaid deck is a number 4. These will be shuffled and will become a discard pile. Right there. And the discard pile will go right here. The remaining cards are shuffled. And then placed to the other side. Now, each player is going to have a bank of cards that they collect, but let's just jump in and let's say it's my turn, and how does this play? I would start pushing my luck. So what I'll do is I'll take the top card of the deck, flip it over, and it is a 5 of Kraken. Now, the most important rule of this game is that anytime a card is placed into the play area, whether from the draw pile, discard pile, or a player's bank, you must activate the suit ability. So I go here and I look up the suit ability for the Kraken, and it says forces you to place 2 additional cards into the play area. So I will now have to place 2 more cards. And I get a 5 of cannon and a 6 oracle. Now, whenever a card comes in, you must activate the suit ability. So the cannon, I now place the top card of a suit stack from another player's bank into the discard pile. This player doesn't have a bank. I don't have a bank. I can't perform that action. Nothing goes into the discard pile. Oracle allows me to reveal the next card on the draw pile, which I reveal is a mermaid. So I will continue going. Now, why am I going? I'm actually in the gameplay. I am drawing if you dare. When you draw, you are trying to draw a loot card to place into the play area. You must activate the suit ability, or I can collect this loot, which that's what I'm going to do at this time. So the reason being is if any of the cards that I draw matches any of the suits here, then I bust. So it's a push your luck game in the purest sense. What I'm doing is I've gone these 4 cards. I'm pretty safe. I like the numbers. I'm taking these as loot. So they would become part of my bank. And you actually collect little piles from each different suit. And you always put the highest number of the suit on top. Because if another ability goes and does something, it will destroy the card of the suit that is of the highest value. It would then be the other player's turn. They flip a key. Keys are interesting because if there's a key and a chest in the play area, then you draw bonus cards when it's collected. But it does nothing now. A map. So the map says shuffle the discard pile, reveal 3 cards from it, and you can play 1 into the play area. So 1, 2, 3. And so this player could take a cannon, a sword, but not a key. Because if they chose a key, they would bust. Because 2 cards of the same suit. So this is definitely not going in. Now, the player would go, okay, do I want a cannon or do I want a sword? Let's see what they do. Cannons, like you said, you place the top card of a suit stack from any player into a discard pile. So they could hurt me by making me discard like my 6. Or they could steal the top card. This is a sword. Steal the top card from any other player's bank and place the stolen card into the play area. So swords are better than cannons in this sense because they allow to take this 6 of Oracle, which allows them to then reveal that there was a mermaid on top that's a 7, and they'll take that. And then they're gonna be like, okay, I'm not pushing my luck any further. And they'll take all those cards into their bank. In this way, we alternate player by player. So I'm gonna go and play my next turn. I've got a cannon. Cannon allows me to discard. I'm gonna discard this 7 of mermaid. Next card is a sword, which allows me to steal your map. I might not have done. I said it. I really like Oracle's a huge benefit. So, but I was getting greedy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually, I am going to use the anchor. And I'll explain what the anchor's power is here. So the anchor actually allows all the cards before this, before the anchor to be drawn, to be collected at the end, even if I bust. So I've kind of saved these cards for myself. So I'm going to continue going now. I got a key. Awesome. Oh, and then next I get a chest. So this is awesome because what this says is when you have a key in a chest in the play area, when you collect, you draw bonus cards equal to the number of cards collected. So I'm actually going to cash out now and bring these cards into my bank because I get 6 bonus cards in addition to that. I'm going to jump into the rule book though, because I wanted to look at the clarification on that card a little bit more to make sure that I am doing everything correct. It gives a little bit more lengthy amount of rules than what is on the card. So it says, actually, it gives a little example. It says, Zach chooses to collect, and he has 5 cards in the play area. I have 6. I'm better than Zach. After he moves the 5 cards from the play area into the bank, I then shuffle the discard pile and add bonus cards to my bank. So I add these 6 cards. They'll come over. And my bank has almost every card suit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm only missing one suit. But now I get to draw 6 more cards from the discard and add them to my deck. That's awesome. Okay. And you'll notice I'm putting lower numbered cards under the higher numbered cards. And Hook. Hook is the one that I didn't have yet. So I now have one of each suit in my bank. And next, I collected, so it's the next player's turn. They push their luck. They got a 4. That means cannons. Place a top suit into the discard pile. Okay, so they're just going to take one of my 7s. Sword allows them to steal one of my 7s. They're going to push. Oh, and they bust. So they got 2 mermaids, which means they bust. Their turn's over. These cards are discarded. We will continue in this fashion, pushing our luck, getting cards from the deck, until the deck of cards is gone. And that is a quick little overview of how Dead Man's Draw is played. Now, before I move ahead and start talking about the price and value of this game, I want to remind everyone to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Leave a comment something about pirates. Favorite pirate movie. Favorite rum. Something about pirates. In the comments below, because I will be giving away this copy of the game. So I'm going to load it back up, and here in a week or so, we'll announce who won this game. So jump in, and maybe this game will be yours. Now, let's get back to talking about the price and value of Dead Man's Draw. Now, let's see about the price. I'm on Amazon right now, and game's $20, free shipping on Amazon. I also pulled up the publisher's website, Mayday Games, and they are also $17.95, but shipping's calculated at checkout, so somewhere around $20. You'll notice here the shipper seller on Amazon is Imperial Publishing Inc. They're actually they're a subsidiary or parent company of Mayday Games. Brand is Mayday Games, so you're buying it from the publisher from either of these websites. And it seems like the lowest price online is right around the $20 mark. So let's then talk about the value. On this channel, we really only look at sub $30 games. And so you get a rule book, you get the box, and you get a bunch of cards. This is right in line with what I would expect for a game in that $15 to $20 price range. Nothing out of the ordinary here. The quality is good. I mean, this is a nice telescoping box. Nothing crazy there. Rule book is well made. It's a lot of rules, so it's something to take into consideration. This rule book is actually 4 sheets, and goes through a lot of different things. The game has variants involved. This is really nothing bad to say about the price to value association here. You're getting a good game for a good price. Now let's talk a little bit about my opinions of the game. Now, this game is 2015, published 2015, so this game actually predates the game I'm going to compare it to. Because push your luck games, popular genre, and there's one that comes to mind that has been kind of topping sales and everything else as of late, and it's a game called Flip 7 by the board game publisher The Op. This game reminds me a lot of Flip 7. And it might have even been a type of game that influenced Flip 7. This feels to me like a more gamery, if that's a word, type of Flip 7 type game. We're pushing our luck, we're flipping cards. But this, all the cards have a special ability. So everything that comes out, something's happening. That might be a little bit too much for the most casual of gamers. But for someone who's playing with people who game a lot and want a little bit more meat to the game, I would say that Dead Man's Straw is a really good option. The variants add even more. So if you saw this and you were like, well, that doesn't seem like very much. Well, in the variant cards, well, first there's variant cards, but then there's also traits. So the traits give players a special like ability on top of it, where they're a character that trigger the ability triggers off of the certain types of cards. And the variants actually give you totally different ways and rules of the game. Like sudden death, the first player to reach 50 points wins. So that changes the end game. Pile of treasure. All cards in the player's bank count towards the score, not just the top card of each stack. That changes the game up too. All hands on deck. -5 points from your score for each empty suit stack in your bank. So these give you different play styles or goals to meet within the game. So really, as far as value goes, there are a lot of options you have in this game. And I feel for the genre, it's not too tough. Rules are a little bit long. I'll admit that. However, only half the rule book is the rules. The other half is continued explanations of all the different abilities and the traits and stuff in the game. So basically, the cards say something, and this goes into more in depth and has more examples. So I can't really fault them for the rulebook being so long. It is a little intimidating when you pick it up because you're like, oh man, this is a lot of rules for a little card game. But in reality, if they wanted to pare it down, rules are like 3 pages of this 14-page book. So overall, I would say if I was keeping to my duck scale, I'd put this right around 8 ducks. Maybe a 4 out of 5 if you were doing something like that, or if you had stars instead of ducks. But yeah, I like it. It's good. My biggest complaint is it's only up to 4 players. With this sort of game, it's a game you could take to a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and with a group of people, and that's probably what sets off the other game that I mentioned, Flip 7, a little bit more, is that it can play pretty much infinite player count. Where this one's limited to 4, but it's more gamery. So I'd say gamers are going to enjoy this. It has a lot of variability, options, different ways to play, a lot more value in the box in that you have a lot of different ways to play and you can build on that. So, yeah, no real complaints there. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below about pirates for your chance to win this copy of the game that I will be shipping out in about a week. But other than that, I ask you to come back, watch future episodes, win some games, and that's this episode of Papa Anthony's Used Game Emporium. Thanks again.